right, questions for Cyclops Cow.
Cody. Okay, so on the third diagram that you just drew right there, could you have no no eyes?
If you had no 2, would you have no eye?
Yeah. Oh, it's because why is it always at 2? Just at that concentration gradient. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. So, a couple things. Sonic is produced here. Sonic is the name of the signal. Sonic Hedgehog. Serious. Dead for real story, completely real story. There was Indian hedgehog and then African hedgehog, and then they found another hedgehog, but it turns out there's only 2 types of hedgehogs in the world, so they named the third one Sonic Hedgehog, which is a computer character. Game character. So that's produced on the front side or the inside here, and that signal travels back and out. Hellebore is a poison. It's in a plant. It's actually a pretty plant. You can buy it. But if you feed it to people, you will generate big problems because you'll cut down the amount of sonic signal up front, moving the axon. Yeah.
What is 2 exactly? What does 2 represent?
2 is the amount of sonic signal. Here, sonic signals are represented in colors. There's a lot. There's a little. Here, I just represented them in numbers.
So when cells receive the amount of signal at level 2, that's a signal that is that exact amount of signal they need to produce the axon.
Correct.
And it can't be 5, 4, 3, or 1 or 0. It has to be.
Correct. Because of this thing. Yes.
Okay, so looking at the second cell, you know how you said that all 3 transcription factors can bind to C, but it's less likely for it to happen?
Yes.
So let's say you're at level 1, and that at level 1, that many transcription factors become activated. Now, how do you regulate
Level 1. What's level 1?
I don't know, any.
I'm here. Level 1. This is level 1.
Okay, level 2 or level 3.
This is level 2.
Okay, level 2. So let's say, in the level 2 region,
Yeah.
some cells might have all just C.
Right.
And some might have A and B.
Right.
So wouldn't that produce 2 different cells in the same?
Very good question.
Is
Okay.
that
So
randomized?
yeah. So the most likely scenario, right, for this is that this transcription factor binds to any single binding site, right? The only effect we're going to generate is if it binds to A. Here, these 3 signals, theoretically, they could all bind to the first binding site, and only A would be produced. And then they could all 3 bind to the binding site at C, and all 3 would produce. Or sorry, only C would be produced. However, the likelihood is that this combination, with the amount of transcription factors in it, is the most likely. So, in a numbers game, if you produce 1 of protein C versus 1,000 of A and B, you're going to get the effect of A and B. But you're right, C could be produced. Yes.
So you say 1 is, on that picture, 1 is the first cell, 2 is the second cell, 3 would be the third cell. Would 4 be another cell with a 4th receptor and 4th signal and a 4th gene?
Okay, so that, I'm oversimplifying. Yes, that could possibly be. These are all the same receptor though. Right? This is the Sonic Hedgehog receptor. Yeah.
So there are millions of other different kinds of signals out there that actually.
Right. So in addition to sonic signal coming from the front, there's dorsal signal coming from the back, ventral, and there's a bunch of other signals. If you really want, I can give you a more detailed explanation of how this happens. You're not gonna like it. We can do a fly development, how a fly develops. Yes?
How did these signals occur?
How did these signals occur?
gene expression. That didn't answer your question, did it? What is his, somebody help me, what is he asking?
What produces the signal? Or how?
A cell in the front of, is populations of cells in the front of this organism are producing that signal. You can just look up what produces sonic.
So this connects to that, to dose urchins as well, because it goes in like advanced signaling into this concentration and stuff.
So we don't know, like, if you increase the signal, like in the second diagram, like significantly, it could produce like proteins that actually destroy like two. So you could end up with no eyes, or you could end up with like,
Yeah. In the human body, like one theme you'll see is that with drugs especially, we have this idea like, oh, if you increase the amount of dopamine in the brain, you'll be happier. But it's a finely tuned system, right? So just because you increase something doesn't mean you get more of an effect. What very well could happen is that you get a very different effect. That's the point I'm trying to make here.
okay.
It's not more signal equals more effect. More signal can be a very different effect. Yeah.
What is the black line on the left face of
The black line on the left.
Yeah,
Okay,
no.
so this is a tube.
Okay.
This is the whole of that tube. So this started like that, and now that's you though. That's baby you. That's exactly what you look like.
What? Can you please explain what both of those or what the lines are?
So these are cells forming a circle,
Okay.
and then some of those cells replicate. More of them replicated here near the bottom. And so this hole is here. This is that hole. You have a hole. Is that it for questions? Okay, let's see how well you understand this. Can you hit next on the presenter? Have fun.